O Israel. The call never died. From the south, the lost sheep rise. From Mississippi soil where the history haven't changed in the land, but the promise still steady. Names got taken, truth got buried, but the word still breathing, never went missing. Lost sheep scattered, still hear the tone. Shepherd calling, saying bring them home. Not a rumor, not a myth. Ancient bloodline covered in stitch, no crown on head, no throne in sight. But kings still walk when they live upright. Priests in order, hearts in check. Walking the path of like she is a dick.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
From Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that.
Remember that. Not here for hate, not here for noise. Here to rebuild men, women, boys. From prison walls to broken homes. Still hear Yah's voice through flesh and bone. Teach the law, apply the way. Faith works, lived every day. Not traditions handed down, but ancient paths we walking now. 12 tribes breathing, still intact. Truth don't change, that's fact. Scattered, warning, gathered again. Written long before the pen.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct.
Here, O Israel. The call never died. From the south, the lost sheep rise. From Mississippi soil where the history haven't changed in the land, but the promise still steady. Names got taken, truth got buried, but the word still breathing, never went missing. Lost sheep scattered, still hear the tone. Shepherd calling, saying bring them home. Not a rumor, not a myth. Ancient bloodline covered in stitch, no crown on head, no throne in sight. But kings still walk when they live upright. Priests in order, hearts in check. Walking the path of like she is a dick.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
From Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that. Remember that.
Not here for hate, not here for noise. Here to rebuild men, women, boys. From prison walls to broken homes. Still hear Yah's voice through flesh and bone. Teach the law, apply the way. Faith works, lived every day. Not traditions handed down, but ancient paths we walking now. 12 tribes breathing, still intact. Truth don't change, that's fact. Scattered, warning, gathered again. Written long before the pen.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
In Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that. Remember that.
Who are we?
Israel.
What we teach.
Truth. Why we here?
Wake the lost sheep. Art of discipline, restitution, not confusion, restoration. No corner prophets, strange swing, no water down, truth or name. Study the word, live it out, let correction cast pride out. Fathers restored, mothers strong, families healed where it went wrong. Not perfect men, but hearts aligned, learning obedience one step at a time.
Order of Melchizedek.
Stand righteous,
Yeah, stand righteous.
stand correct.
Lost sheep pride, chains disconnect.
Covenant people.
Never reject. Order.
Covenant people. From the south to where you at.
From the south to where you at.
Israel, wait, don't you forget.
Israel, don't you forget.
It's the order. Mutually remember. This is remembrance. This is order. This is the call.
To the lost sheep.
O Israel. The call never died. From the south, the lost.
Shalom, 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 family. It's your brother Stephen Israel in the building. Want to say shalom to all the brothers and sisters that scattered to the four corners of the earth. And we welcome you to Order Melchizedek Tupelo, Mississippi channel. And we just want to say all praises to the Most High God and his son YAH'S, who was born and he lived and he bled and he died for the sins of his children from the house of Israel. And we just want to say shalom to each and every one of you, no matter where you may find yourself on this beautiful planet today. We thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming to hear the word of the Most High God. So now that you're here, we ask that you would get your pen, your pad, something to write on, something to write with. But most importantly, grab your sword, get your Bibles out, follow along with us in these scriptures. Don't take our word for anything. Um, Study to show thyself approved in everything that you do in life. We are not a hate group. We don't hate anyone because of their race, their religion, or their gender. We are a Bible based group and we teach from the 1611 King James Version Bible, including the Apocrypha. So, with that being said, brothers and sisters, welcome, welcome, welcome to the channel. It's always a pleasure and an honor and definitely a privilege to sit before you once again to discuss and to teach the holy word written for our learning in these last days. So we welcome you, and I'm not by myself tonight because I got my brothers with me. I got my brother Cortez in the building with me. Shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, shalom, my beloved brethren on the panel. Shalom. And shalom to the
Shalom,
family in the
shalom,
chat.
brother.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. And I want to welcome, not last but not least, the teacher for tonight, the leader of this class on Tuesday nights. It's called Back to the Basics Tuesdays. It's none other than my brother, the young gunner, KG in the building. Shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, shalom, brothers on the panel. Shalom, brothers and sisters in the chat. Welcome to another exciting episode of Back to the Basics Tuesdays.
Back
Yes,
to the
sir.
Basics Tuesday.
Hey, you gotta say that. You gotta say the commentary voice for the end of the show. You can't hit them with it at the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
I had to try it at least one time, see how it sounds.
Oh,
But
crazy.
all praises, family. The title to the lesson tonight is called Idumea, the true enemy of the Most High God. Idumea, the true enemy of the Most High God. So that's the title to the lesson tonight. Um, and I won't take up too much of your time. Um, I'm gonna turn it over to my young brother. But before I turn it over to you, Hebrew, I just want to say, that from the beginning in these scriptures, right? The Most High has always talked about who He established His covenant with, right?
Right.
He always talked about a chosen seed, that He gave all the promises, that He gave His laws to, and ultimately His salvation would come to this same group of people, you know. Alongside that chosen bloodline of people. However, another line also developed, and that's the line that we'll be talking about tonight.
Right.
that's closely related by blood to us, but yet they were divided from us in the spirit realm.
Mm-hmm.
And that line that we're going to talk about tonight is the line of Esau, who is also called Edom. And my young brother gonna bring that out in chapter 25 of the book of Genesis. But this lesson right here that we're gonna do tonight is gonna be built on nothing but all facts. This is not a race theory lesson. This is not some type of folklore or some type of internet speculation that's gonna go on this lesson tonight. This lesson is built on scriptures in the proper context.
That's right.
It's coming from the Apocrypha, and also documented and recorded history throughout the years, the centuries. That's been written down by different people at their hands, but by the will of the Most High God. And we're gonna talk about this thing. We're gonna go through the proper chronological order that these things happen in, and we're gonna examine Edom, who later on became Edom, Idumea, and why the scriptures repeatedly presents this lineage as a hostile group of people toward God and his chosen people. Um, so with that being said, I turn it over to the teacher for the night, brother KG.
All praises. I appreciate that introduction as always, brother Stephen. And like brother Stephen said tonight, brothers and sisters, the title of the lesson is called Idumea, the true enemy of God, or Yah. Tonight we will definitely be breaking things down in a chronological order. This is Back to the Basics Tuesdays, and we have to go back to the basics sometimes. I'm pretty sure this is a topic that we are all well equipped with and, pretty much got under our belt. But, brothers and sisters, we do have to acknowledge the fact that we do have new listeners that may or may not know. So, for the sake of them, we will be going through these, we will be busting down these scriptures tonight pertaining to the topic at hand. I will begin with questions like I always do. I have to get our brains flowing, but I'm also going to bring some different aspects that we probably, as a collective, have either looked at together or haven't necessarily looked at this particular angle. Um, but all in all, it will all be to the glory of the Most High. So, without further ado, let's get into these questions. First question of the night: how many times is Idumea mentioned in the Bible? How many times is Idumea mentioned in the Bible?
Well, I'm not gonna Google it, and I'm not gonna look it up. I'm just gonna take a uneducated guess of how many times Idumea is mentioned in the Bible. I'm going to say 115.
115.
That's what I'm gonna
Okay.
say. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 115.
115. Brother Cortez, what you got? And hey,
Uh,
hey, Sister Arlene, hey, that was a good answer right there. Numerous. I like how you did that, Sister Arlene. That's
hey,
a good one right there.
She can't go wrong with that answer,
You
can she?
can't go wrong with that answer right there.
uh, I'm
Oh,
gonna
praise.
say
Don't cheat. Don't
75.
cheat. Don't cheat, Cortez.
I don't even know how to spell it, bro.
Okay, okay.
You said 75. You said 75, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 75, bro.
Okay, we got 115. We got 75. We got numerous. Shalom, Sister Tanner. She said 3. Shalom, Sister Cahelia. She said 83. Sister Jim said, I'll say about 50. Shalom to you, sis. Who else we got? Mother Mary says, I don't know, maybe 3. Hey, Sister Brenda Hill, that was a safe answer from Sister Arlene, but you can't. Hey, hey, I
Hey,
might have to let that answer slide right there because that was a pretty clever answer right there. I gotta give it to
hey,
Sister
Sister
Arlene
Arlene
for
said numerous, several.
that. Yeah. All praises, all praises. But the correct answer, brothers and sisters, Idumea is mentioned 12 times.
Dang.
12 times.
I was way too high. 103, matter of fact.
The actual word Idumea is mentioned 12 times in the Bible, and that is only in between the Old Testament and the Apocrypha.
How do you
mm.
feel it, KG?
IDU.
Idumea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, next good question we have. Now I got two more questions. Um, well, I really got three, but we can ask these questions on the way through the lesson. But for the next question, what is the difference in the terms Edomite and Idumean? Yes, this is a trick question, but it's not a trick question. Yeah, I had to confuse y'all just a little bit. Just a little bit. What is the
I,
difference in the terms of Edomite in the terms Edomite and Idumean? What you was finna say, Brother Cortez? Or that Brother Steph, you was finna say something.
um, I'm not gonna answer yet. I'm gonna let everybody else answer because if I answer, I'm gonna probably get an answer away.
Yeah, yeah, you right, because we have discussed this already.
I'm gonna probably get an answer away. So I'm gonna sit this one out.
All right. Shalom, MC to the X Project. I see you said you had to refresh chat when you weren't seeing the messages. So just in case you missed the first question was, how many times is Idumea mentioned in the Bible? And the question that we are on now is, what is the difference in the terms Edomite and Idumean?
Sister Arlene Foster said both are from the same families, Caucasoids, the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia.
The mountains of Caucasus.
um, Cahalia Smith said Idumea is a location. Okay, okay.
Okay,
And this is true.
this is very true.
This is true. But it's also referred to as a people. A
Mm-hmm.
group of people are also referred to as Idumeans
Mm-hmm.
and they came from they settled in the land of Idumea.
Mm-hmm.
But Idumeans were in more places than just Idumea.
Ooh, M to the X Project. I see you, brother. I see you. He cracked the riddle. Oh, you ain't even. You know what? I ain't even make it a riddle for you. You didn't catch the riddle part. Never mind. But you still got the right answer. Every answer was right, but this is the spot on answer right here, and we'll get into this as we get into the lesson. But M to the X Project said they are the same because they became one kingdom,
One
and
people.
that's right. And we're gonna get into that as we get into this lesson for tonight. That is definitely 100% correct. I love your enthusiasm, brother Yedadiah. I love it. Oh, praise.
hey, Jedediah. And they both wore their clothing until they would actually deteriorate. They
Mm-hmm.
never once they put them on, they never took them off. Their undergarments would literally melt into their dirt. The dirt on their bodies would consume the undergarments that they would put on, they never took them off. And you can find that in the book, The 13th Tribe, written by Arthur Koestler. They were a very nasty people, unwashed,
Jesus Louises.
and they also ate pubic lice, and they said it was delicious.
Oh wow. Yeah. Hey man, y'all something else. Let me get into this lesson, man. Let me get into this lesson, man.
Wait a minute, man. Wait, wait 1 minute. Damn. Did that man say delicious stuff?
They said that they were delicious.
They said that for real, Hebrew?
Yes,
Oh my God. I thought they were
yes,
nasty, but not that nasty. Wait,
yes, yes.
good God
Hey, it's
Almighty.
it's funny what history will show you once you go looking for it.
But we are what they call us?
Neanderthals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
beasts,
and yeah, beast. Monkeys. They
monkey.
say we
Yeah.
descended from monkey.
What did Hillary Clinton call us
It ain't
though?
my culture heritage.
What would that Hillary Clinton call us though? I don't forgot what that was.
I don't apes.
It was something else.
No, 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 no. Predators.
It's predators, but it was something else. It'll come to me. Go ahead though.
Yeah, I remember predators, but she did say another word, but I definitely remember predators. Because
Mm-hmm.
Biden used it too.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was originated by the Reagans. That
Yeah,
started calling us that. Super predators.
yeah, because this was around the time they was trying to around the time of Bill Clinton and them, and they was trying to get that the crime bill in effect.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
85% law
Mm-hmm.
that I
All
got
right.
sentenced under.
I'm sorry to hear that, brother, but I'm glad
Super.
you're here. I'm
They
glad you're here
called us
with
super
me.
predators. They called us super predators.
So, call it what you
Yep,
want.
that's it. That's it. That was it. It was in '94 when she. I mean '96, but they promoted it in '94 under that crime bill. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But all right, brothers, let's get into this. Cortez, you gonna read for me tonight, brother?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Let's start at the very beginning. We're gonna walk this thing down. We're gonna go through each section. We're gonna walk this thing down. I'm gonna try not to be before y'all too long, but whatever the most high want me to do, brothers and sisters, that will I do. Um, let's start at Genesis chapter 25, and we're gonna read 19 through 25.
All right. Genesis 25.
I can help you read too, Cortez.
All right. Genesis 25, verse 19, and it reads, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethel, the Syrian, and the Pandaram, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them.
Praises. So tonight, brothers, as I forgot to mention this as well. This would be a continuance of the lessons that we did last week. So if you want to go back, we touched a section of this on the last Tuesday lesson. Not this particular topic that we're talking about tonight, but this all ends up tying together when you go back and watch the lessons. I recommend that you go back and watch the last Tuesday lesson if you missed it. Then go watch Brother Mikiel's lesson on Friday if you missed that. Those two lessons tie in together with what we will be talking about tonight as well. Um, and as Brother Cortez read, like the scriptures say, there was two manners of people, two different kinds of people who would form two different nations. One would be this way, the other would be that way. The older would serve the younger. The younger would be
Hey,
stronger.
hey,
Go
hey,
ahead.
hey, hey, read that verse 27 and 28 to finish that out.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, verse 27, and it reads, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob.
All praises to the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Uh, and let me say this, and the reason why I wanted you to finish that scripture out is because that's a key point in the lesson that Brother KG is bringing out tonight. Esau is a cunning hunter. That's what he does in the earth, and that's how you identify who Esau is in the earth today and who Jacob is. It said Jacob was a plain man that lived in tents. Jacob was laid back, just
Mm-hmm.
like just like we are today.
Laid back,
Us
like
as
to
a
eat,
people,
like to cook.
we
Mm-hmm.
laid back. But Esau always got to hunt something. Who in the earth today always got to hunt and kill everything? It ain't nothing safe even in the ocean. They go to the bottom of the ocean and kill animals and just kill them to extinction.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere they go, they hunt everything to extinction. What group of people do that? See, and I'm gonna make this point and I'm gonna let you have it. And this why you don't have to take anybody's word for anything because God's word holds true. It held true then and it holds true now. All you gotta do is look at the characteristics in the earth today. Who
Mm-hmm.
do these characteristics fit? You want to know who Idumea and who Esau is today? Look at the characteristic. He a cunning hunter. He hunt everything. You look at who laid back in earth and who chill. Who like to lay in their tent and just chill. We ain't got time for no hunting no whales and getting the oil out of their head and all that. Man, we ain't doing that.
That's right. That's
But go
right.
ahead, bro.
Shalom, brother Miguel. Cortez. Read 29 through 34.
I got you, Hebrew. Verse
29.
20. But okay. Go
My
ahead.
bad. 29, and it reads my mute button was stuck. And it reads, and Jacob so and Jacob and Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Read 34.
Oh, my bad. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. He did eat and drink, and rose up, and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright.
This was the beginning of the fallout between Esau and the Most High. This was him basically denouncing his birthright, not giving the proper respect of it, and showing that he didn't care about the things that would come to pass later on down the road because he was more concerned about getting food at that moment. Now, there are other factual things that we will not discuss this night of why this event may have occurred, but for the sake of tonight's lesson, we'll just stick to that for right now. That's some of that above your pay grade information right there I was just talking about. But Brother Cortez, let's jump to Genesis 27, and we're gonna read jump to Genesis 27 and start at 30. And just start at 30 and read to 41.
All right, and it reads, and it came to pass as soon as Jacob had made an end of the blessing Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting, and he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may be that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these two times. He took away my birthright. And behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion
Hey,
that.
hey, stop right there. Hey, stop
Mhm.
right there. I want to look at that verse 40 right there, brother KG, if you don't mind.
Bring it up, bro. Bring it up.
That verse 40 said, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is living out today
Mm-hmm.
because do Esau and Edomites and Idumeans, do they not live by the sword?
Yup.
Do they not have all the nuclear missiles of the earth? Do they not have all the military with the helicopters and the B-2 bombers and they can reach any country in the world and drop a bomb on them that'll destroy the whole country with one drop?
I mean, yeah, exactly. Look how they did that. Where they just get that president from? Was it
Venezuela.
yeah,
Venezuela.
Venezuela? When they went in. They had a special device that basically made a frequency that made people bleed out of their eyes and throw up blood
And
They-
ears too.
in ears too. You
Wow.
know, but that's just a testament to what Brother Stephen is saying right now. Go ahead, brother.
And then they went over there to Iran and got one of those stealth bombers, and they were so many miles up in the sky, it wasn't no missile that can shoot the plane down. They dropped bombs from so high up in the air, it wasn't nothing nobody could do to stop it.
That's
And
why
when they hit,
they
they
eat.
went miles down into the earth before they blew up. See,
Mhm.
this the technology that these people got. They live by the sword. They'll tell you peace, peace. We want peace. And while they talking about peace with you, they stealth bombers is already dropping bombs in the sky. And by the time the broadcast go off, the bomb hits you.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
These the type of people that the scriptures is talking about, bro. That's how we know who these people. And you know, You have people that'll argue and say, well, the Bible said that Esau ain't even living no more. They all died out. No, because
Mm-hmm.
if that was true, why is the scripture describing these people in the earth today? And we
Mm-hmm.
ain't got to call out no skin color. We ain't got to call out none of that. All you got to do is look at the characteristics, look at what Isaac blessing that Isaac gave him. Look at what's going on in the earth today, and it's gonna tell you who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Just like our people, when Moses told them in Deuteronomy 28, if you break the law, statutes, and commandments, these are the curses that's gonna come up on you. And we still living up under those curses today.
That's right,
See,
bro.
these scriptures gon' they speak for themselves, bro. Ain't nobody gotta call out no skin colors and you nobody well y'all racist because y'all talking about this color people. No, you ain't we ain't calling no name. Ain't now one of us on here said no skin color the whole time we've been on here tonight. But these scriptures just jumping off the page.
That's right.
But go ahead, bro.
Oh, finish that 41, brother Cortez. We're gonna dive on deeper in this thing.
Verse 41, and it reads, And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessings wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The day of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her eldest son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Keep going.
Nah, that's good right there.
All
This
right.
was the beginning of the fallout, the beef. Shalom, sister. Asia Kenyatta. Shalom. But this was the fallout of. This was the beginning of the fallout between Esau and Jacob. Esau, and some of us might find this funny. Esau was the original, one of the original people that started the act of playing victim, even when things are your fault. That's how I like to look at this situation
Gaslighting. He was the first gaslighter.
because he blamed right he blamed Jacob for something that he did. He was the one that came in hungry saying, "Hey man, fix me some meat. I give you my birthright." No, he said, "Fix me some meat, please. I'm about to die." Jacob said, well, "Hey, I fix you some meat. Give me your birthright." You could have said no. You the older brother. You really could have punched your brother in the mouth and just took the meat if you really wanted it that bad. But instead, you went about it the way you went about it. But
I want, hey, Hebrew, spiritually, when
mm,
we look at Esau sold his birthright, if we look at it on the spiritual side, that's what our people do when they take on Esau ways and want to be like Esau and want to go serve the God of the Bible and say God commandments are done away with. You selling your birthright. You
mm,
selling off your promises. You selling off the covenant that the Most High made. Same thing. See, Esau know there's no repentance for him. So his job with Satan is to deceive the whole masses of the people, including Negroes, the God chosen people, and to get you to sell off your birthright so you can go burn with him forever.
that's right.
It's the spiritually. It's on the spiritual side. If we look at this, what do our entertainers do? They sell their soul. They sell their birthright.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yep,
gonna leave
that's
that right
true.
there, Hebrew.
That's true. Hey, no, that's a good point. That's a good point, Hebrew, because you remember you brought that up to me a couple of weeks ago and we was talking about it. And that's a great perspective to look at this situation through because in nowadays in time, our people don't look at it like that. They don't look at it like they selling their birthright. They just
Mm-hmm.
look at it like what they call now selling your soul is what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But through
But you
this, go ahead.
no, go ahead, bro.
Man, but we gon' I'm glad that y'all bringing this part of it out as well because by the time we get to the end of this lesson, this point that y'all bringing up now is gonna come back up once we get towards the end of the lesson. Because just like it was people doing this in our time, it was people that was doing it in the time of Yahweh Shai as well. It was just in a different format, but it's still basically the same thing. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, but still.
Yeah, yeah. I was just making that same point that just adding on to what Brother Mikael was saying, because when you look at that word in that scripture right there, that word despise, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it say that Esau sells his birthright and he despised it, that word despise means that he felt like he treated it like it was worthless.
Mm-hmm.
He treated it like it was insignificant or that it held no value. And that's the way that our people treat their birthright today, because they looking at it like, man, I'm living now.
That's
I
right.
gotta I'm living in America. We at the bottom of society. My mama was a single parent. We grew up. I had nothing. I played football or basketball, or I sung and rapped my way to where I'm at. And when these people offer me this contract, I don't care what I got to do to get this money. I'm gonna get this money. If I gotta disown my people, or if I gotta serve another God, or whatever I gotta do, I'm gonna get this money, because I'm gonna live. You know what they say? You only live once. I ain't finna go through hell and then die and go to hell again. So they look at it like I'm gonna live good now, and I'll suffer the consequences when I die. But they selling their birthright.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
what they
look at
doing.
Judas. Look at Judas, Hebrew. He sold out Jesus, sold out his brethren for 30 pieces of silver. He sold his soul, sold his birthright, sold off the promises that were promised unto him for 30 pieces of silver. That's what
Hmm.
what do our politicians do? Black politicians and black civil rights leaders. Don't they sell us out for 30 pieces of silver? They sold their birthright, they sold their soul. Rest in peace,
Hmm.
Jesse Jackson.
Hmm. And the little skinny neck one too.
Al Fat Neck Sharpton, still little
Yeah,
turkey
that's
neck.
right. That's right. Let me get a scripture, KG, while we here.
Man, come on with it.
Cortez, give me Hebrews chapter 12 and get verse 16. And while you getting that, I want to make this point. See, Esau, he didn't just trade food for his inheritance, right? What he did was he showed a disregard for the covenant.
Right. Exactly.
What he did was, in this very moment, he established a spiritual thing, and that we gonna read about later on as KG bring this lesson out. um that he built upon. He got worse and worse. He went deeper down the rabbit hole as the scriptures went on. He just went deeper and deeper. Get that Hebrew 12 and 16.
Hebrews 12 and 16, and it reads, "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person, as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright."
So what we would call that today, we would call that word profane, we would call that being outside of God's grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You outside of God's protection. And the conflict between Jacob and Esau, it wasn't just a sibling rivalry. And that's why when people try to say Esau was just one person, and when they say, well, that scripture that say Esau I hated and Jacob I love, that was just talking about one man. I'm gonna tell you how I know that's a lie. Because this went from a sibling rivalry to become a national struggle between a whole one nation against another nation. But it became a hatred for Israel, eh, versus Esau, Edom,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as whole nations of people.
Hey, Salaki, can I bring up something right quick?
Yeah, yeah. Bring it out, bro. Bring it out.
All right. They said he sold their birthright for a morsel of meat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trip off this. Morsel of meat refers to a very small piece, bite, or a mouthful of meat. So that man sold his birthright for a little bite of meat, just a little bit. I mean, if you're gonna do it, bro, I thought he sold it for like a.
like a deer leg or
Plate.
something.
A plate.
Yeah,
A
right.
plate.
At least a plate. You sold your birthright for a chicken strip? No, not
But
even a chicken strip, a chicken nugget.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
check this out though, Cortez. See, that morsel is spiritual.
Yeah, I
And
know.
that's
I know.
that I know you know. I'm just bringing it out,
Right,
for the
right, right, right.
class.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Um what brother Mikael was what brother Mikael was talking about. See, this is spiritual.
Hmm.
And it had to happen because it was ordained by God.
Right.
It was ordained by the Most High Yah. So this had to happen. These were just formalities, bro. Like they were just acting out what's written.
Man, that's ooh, man.
And we gotta think about that too when we live in our lives because our lives are written out.
Mm-hmm.
We
You got,
we
hey,
fulfilling what's written about our lives. But go ahead, Hebrew.
did we sell our birthright? Yes. That's why Christ had to came because we had to be brought back in without a price. We had to be brought back into the covenant by his sacrifice. We had to be brought back in.
Mm-hmm.
Bought. Bought.
That's why I
Oh, that's a
say
whole
we
nother lesson. Go
yeah.
ahead, bro. That's a
And no, no,
lesson.
for real, because he paid the ultimate price. That's what the scriptures say.
Hey, let me get this spiritual right quick, KG. It says small portion of sustenance of highlighting the contrast between temporary physical desires and long-term spiritual value, or symbolizing humble, peaceful sustenance over luxurious strife.
Mm.
So go ahead.
Because you look at you know we were sold to the nations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then right there in Deuteronomy 20 said, "No man shall buy you," right? Meaning physical man, flesh man. No man
Right.
can't nobody save us, but a man had to come named Yeshua because we had to be brought back with a price because we
Mm-hmm.
had sold our birthright going after the customs and doing the things of the heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Uh Cortez, let's go back to Genesis. Let's go back to Genesis 36, 4, and we're gonna start at verse 4.
Genesis 36 and 4.
Yeah, I just want you to read 4 and 5 for right now. Um, read but before you read that, I'm gonna give some quick commentary on it.
Hey, Steph, I'm gonna need you to grab that one, Steph, because I don't want to butcher them words,
All
them
right.
names. Okay.
Which one was it?
36 and
Just
4,
yeah,
4 and
36 and
5.
4, 4 and 5. These are
Genesis 36 and 4.
we're gonna read 4 and 5 for right now. These are the descendants of Esau. Why are we going over this? We are going over this because this is important. Anytime you come across a list of names in the scriptures, you need to take your time and read through that because some of these people pop back up later on in the story. And a lot of these people that we finna read about in Genesis 36 pop back up later on in the story. Go ahead, bro, Steph. I'm gonna leave it right there. Go ahead.
All right. Um, you said start at 3.
If you want to, you can I was just gonna say 4. You know what? Just start at 1
I'm
and
gonna
read
start at
down to
1.
5.
Yeah, I'm gonna start at
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, start at 1 and read down to 5.
Okay. It said, now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Esau took his wives, plural, of the
Mm-hmm.
daughters of Canaan.
Mm-hmm.
Ada, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and Aholibamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zibeon the Hivite, and Bashemath, Ishmael's daughter, sister of Nebajoth, and Ahab bare to Esau Eliphaz.
Stop right there real quick. Before we go any further, I also want to point out that this was also This is something that a lot of us we overlook. This was also another way of Esau disrespecting not only Isaac and Rebekah, but the Most High, because Isaac told him not to marry these women that he ended up marrying. He didn't tell him that for no reason. He told him that because during the moral law of that time, this was something that they were supposed to do. They were supposed to marry within their bloodline. This was going on even before we got the tablet stones and so on and so forth, the commandments from Moses. So this is also another way of Esau disrespecting the Most High. Finish out there for brother Steph.
It says, and Adar bare to Esau Eliphaz, and Bashemoth bare Reuel,
Mm-hmm.
and Ahalabamah bare Jeush, and Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. And Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house, and his cattle, and all his beasts, and all his substance, which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the face of his brother Jacob.
All right, jump down to verse 10 and read the 12. We just focusing on everybody that we finna run through in these scriptures. These are the direct descendants of Esau.
All right, I'm gonna start at verse 9.
Go ahead.
Verse 9, verse 36, chapter 36 and verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, in Mount Seir.
Mm-hmm.
These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the son of Ada, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Bashemoth, the wife of Esau. And the sons of Eliphaz were Timon, Omar, Zepho, and Ketam, and Kenaz. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were
Mm-hmm.
the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Reuel: Nahath, and Zerah, Shema, and Mizah. These were the sons of Bashemoth, Esau's wife. And these were the sons of Ahalabamah, the daughter of Anah, the daughter of Zebulun, Esau's wife. And she bare to Esau Jeush, and Jalem, and Korah. These were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau: Duke Taman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, and Duke Kenaz; Duke Korah, Duke Gatam, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came of Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Ada. And these are the sons of Reuel, Esau's son: Duke Nahath, Duke Zerah, Duke Shema, Duke Mizah. These are the dukes that came of Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Bashemoth, Esau's wife. And these are the sons of Ahalabamah, Esau's wife: Duke Jeush, Duke Jalem, Duke Korah. These were the dukes that came of Ahalabamah, the daughter of Anah, Esau's wife. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes.
Okay.
These are the sons of Seir the Horite, who inhabited the land: Laton, Shabal, and Gibeon, and Anah.
All right. Hey, jump to 40 and read through 43.
All right, verse 40. And these are the names of the dukes that came of Esau according to their families, after their places, by their names: Duke Timnah, Duke Alva, Duke Jethet, Jethet, Jethet,
Mm-hmm.
Duke Ahalabamah, Duke Elah, Duke Penon, Duke Kenaz, Duke Taman, Duke Mimzar, Duke Magdiel, Duke Aram. These be the dukes of Edom according to their inhabitants in the land of their possession. He is Esau, the father of the Edomites.
Praises. Appreciate that, Steph. And you right, Jedediah. These are the royal families. In the scriptures, you they call them dukes. In our time, we would probably call them the head of the family, the head of the table, or the chief of the family, the man's man or the men's men of each family. Each one of these, what people fail to realize when you read Genesis 36, um, Esau had a tribe of people just like Israel would eventually have. The only difference here is that Esau had his first. That's why when we get into the wilderness, they're already established on the Mount Seir. And I'm bringing this out for a reason on down the road. But I want to make this clear that these lists of people that you just heard about in 36, these are the different tribes. When you hear the Duke of this, the Duke of that, each Duke controlled a section of the Edomites in Mount Seir. When it was time to make a decision, these dukes or chiefs would come together and make decisions on whether they would attack here or whether we was going to sit here or whether we was going to build here. These were the heads of the family. Same way Reuben was the head of his family. Judah was the head of his family. Gad, so on and so forth. All 12 tribes for Israel. Each one had a head. So as it was with Israel, so as it was with Esau. But here's where we start diving a little bit deeper into this, because like I said, we know in the wilderness they had already had Mount Seir established, and the Most High told them to told our forefathers to let them be, because he had gave them Mount Seir. He had gave Esau, the descendants of Esau, Mount Seir for an inheritance. That's right, Jedediah. That's absolutely right. That's right.
And notice when
Um
they get
Now,
Esau.
Cortez, let's go to First Samuel. We're gonna go to First Samuel chapter 14 and verse 47. Let me get that with you. First Samuel chapter 14 and verse 47. Now, I know you probably wondering, well, why are we going to Samuel? I want to let Brother Cortez read it first, and then I'll explain why we're touching bases here.
Okay. So Saul took the so Saul took the kingdom over Israel and fought against all his enemies on every side, against Moab and against the children of Ammon and against Edom and against the kings of Zobah and against the Philistines, and whithersoever he turned himself, he vexed them.
Read 48 with it.
Okay, so like, and he gathered in hosts and smote the Amalekites and delivered Israel out of the hands of them that spoiled them.
Praise. Now, when we
Hey,
read this, oh,
hey, Salakia. They said Mike was trying to say something. Can y'all hear Mike talking?
no, I
I
can't hear.
can't
I
hear
couldn't
him.
hear him.
Uh-uh. What were
You
you
might
saying,
have to go
Hebrew?
in. Mike, go in, go out and come back in, Mike.
Hey,
I can hear
okay.
you now. I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can hear you, Hebrew. Go ahead.
I can't hear him. I'm gonna go back out. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
No, no, it ain't you. It's Mike.
Oh, I heard him say, "Hey."
Huh?
I heard him.
Okay,
Now
we
he
can
just
hear
said,
you.
Stephen,
We
"Huh."
you
hear you
can't hear
now.
me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead, Hebrew.
I was just gonna say, Esau got his bloodline started through a black nation, the Canaanites, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you reading that in Genesis, he started off with them black nations. He with those Canaanites, no other them Hivites and all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
The question we need to ask ourselves: when did he go on the other side and mingle that seed?
Ooh.
Because we
Oh.
know Esau all throughout history mingled that seed. Because I'm gonna give you the good example. Go find not in this lesson, but I'm just for the class for the chat. When they said there rose a Pharaoh that knew not Joseph, If you go do the research, and it's in the biblical text, not in the Bible, that was an Edomite pharaoh. Everywhere this rascal go, he was meeting his seed with nations. But he started off with the black nations because everybody was getting started going. But when we get to
He
the
doing it now.
Greeks, yeah, when we get to the Greeks, when you go to Joshua 90, who did he mingle in with? Who became one people? Japhet and
Mm-hmm.
Esau became one
Mm-hmm.
people. Rome,
Mm-hmm.
Chittim. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I was just showing that like how he started off. He started off black, mixing with the black nations. Now look at him now. Go ahead,
And just
KG.
well, now just to add a little context into what Brother Mikael was saying. Let's put this scenario in today's time. Um, Edomite father, another nation mother. What color? And we don't have to say it, but what color does that offspring come out? So what Brother Mikael is saying is it started at one point, and as time went on, it got to where it is now because of the constant intermingling and mixed breeding. And I just wanted to point that
Hmm.
out as well.
But you know, we all know that the pedigree is the race of that child is by the father. We all know
Right,
that.
right.
Right, right. Okay, go ahead, KG.
Uh, okay. Now I brought this out. I have a question behind this. How many of us, when we read First Samuel and we're getting upset with Saul for not taking out the Amalekites, how many of us get mad because of what him not taking out the Amalekites, or us thinking that he didn't take out the whole race of Esau? Have anybody thought that while they was reading it? Because at one point in time, I thought that it stood for everybody when it says that in 48 that he has smote the Amalekites and delivered Israel out of the hands of them that spoiled them. Anybody else think that, or was it just me? I mean, if it's just me, that's fine. Because I did do that at one point in time. But
No, it's not just you. It's not just you. A lot of people, a lot of people thought that the Amalekites that were spoken of in that Samuel was talking about the Amalekites throughout the entire earth. Um, but we have come to learn that Amalekites was in more than just one place. There were more Amalekites on the planet other than the ones that Saul was at war with at that time in that area.
hmm
That was just
that's
the
right.
Amalekites that was in that area. But go ahead.
That's exactly right. The Amalekites were only one branch. Edom had many other clans. For an example, Teman and Kenaz. Uh, Destroying Amalek would not eliminate the overall problem because, like I said earlier, Amalek was only one tribe. You still had the other tribes to deal with as well. Go to let's get that First Samuel 15 and 9. We just pushing this point just because I'm bringing this out because there are some of us that may have thought that when Saul did this that he killed everybody but except Agag. And even though that was what got him in trouble, we have to remember that Samuel ended up coming up and finishing the job behind Saul. But later on in the scriptures, which we're gonna bring that up as well, later on in the scriptures, the Edomites would pop back up again. But the reason for that is because Agag was just over the Agites. That was just one clan, one tribe. And what history don't really tells us is that Mount Sierra is actually a big space. So anytime that they lost a battle, they would run back to the mountains to recuperate. They would go back to the mountains and hide out for a long time and then pop back up out of nowhere. So when you thought that you had annihilated one branch or got rid of one branch, you were actually only cutting off a little piece because we have to remember Esau as a tribe as a section of tribes was established way before the house of Israel was. But bring out that 15:9, Cortez.
1 Samuel 15:9, and it reads, But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fatlings, and the lambs, and all that was good, and was not utterly destroyed them. But everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly.
And this is
Keep
what
going.
that's
Okay.
good. This is what would cause Saul to begin to lose his respect from the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
This is when the Most High stopped dealing with him, because he was disobedient. Jump to First Samuel 30:1, because now I'm just showing that in the course of time, like I said earlier in the lesson, the Esau would pop back up, random times, pop back up, random times. You wouldn't hear about them for a little while, then they'll pop back up. You wouldn't hear about them for a little while, then they'll pop back up. And the reason why I just gave earlier with in explaining Saul, this is why, because they were already established as a clan way before Israel was. So it was a lot more of them than what it appeared to be. So when you took out a section of them, there were still many more in other places. They may have been on other sides of the mountain or just in other locations outside of the mountain as well. Uh Bring out that 30:1 in First Samuel.
1 Samuel 30:1. And it came to
Hey,
pass, my bad.
Salakia, let me say this.
Come on with it.
Um, Now Edom had kings
Mm-hmm.
set
That's
up
right.
before Israel.
That's right.
Um, so you are correct on that. They established what we would call modern kingdoms before Israel, but we know that Israel was um being formed through the Most High spiritually before the kingdom of Edom.
Right, that's right. That's also correct.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
All right. Bring out that 30:1, Cortez.
All right. And it came to pass when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and Ziklag, and smitting Ziklag, and burnt it with fire.
So here we are, the same tribe. Like Brother Stephen said, it was Amalekites in various places. So the Amalekites that Saul took out and spared the king of, which Samuel ended up cleaning up his mess, didn't solve anything. We still had the same problem because we were still. This is the time of David. This is after Saul and passed. David has still having to deal with the Amalekites. All right, now let's jump to, and I'm just showing like examples of them popping. They would pop up out of nowhere. Now we know in the time of David, David would push them out, and he would end up making them come into subjection to the kingdom of Israel. But later on down the road, after David had did this, they ended up popping up again. Another section popped up again. Go to 2 Samuel chapter 8, Cortez. 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 13 and 14. And we just touching on this briefly. Because what we're showing right here is that there were many other sections. And this is why it's important to know the descendants, the lineage. Because if you didn't understand this, if you read this, you would think, oh, well, they got rid of them here, so they ain't no more. Oh, they got rid of them here. But you're missing the fact that they keep popping up. They keep popping up. This section will pop up over here. This section will pop up here. It's kind of like that pimple that you can't get rid of. And you pop it on one side of your face, then it pop up on another side of your face.
Mm. He said 2 Samuel 8 and what, Hebrew?
Verse 13 and 14.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Bring it out.
And David got him a name when he returned from smitten of from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. And he put garrisons in Edom, throughout all Edom, but the garrisons and all they of Edom became David's servant. And the Lord preserved David
Okay.
whithersoever he went. My bad.
Okay, so that shows that David put them in subjection in his time. Now let's jump to stay in chapter 8 and jump to 20 and 22. Verses 20 and 22. Wait a minute.
It's only
Hold on.
18.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I might have looked at that wrong. Might have looked at that. I might have wrote down the wrong one. Let me see. Check my notes. Give me 1 second, brothers. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, Second Kings. I'm saying Second Samuel. Second Kings. Jump to Second Kings, chapter 8, and we're gonna read verses 20 through 22.
2 Kings 8 and 20, and it reads, in his days Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah, and made a king over themselves. So Joram went over to Zair, and all the chariots with him. And he rose by night and smote the Edomites, which compassed him about. And the captains of the chariots and the people fled into their tents. Yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. Then Lebanon revolted at the same time.
So here we are again in Second Kings, on down the road. After Solomon, we know when Solomon was in rulership, it was peace for 40 years. Then after Solomon left, here they come again, popping up out of nowhere. Popping up out of nowhere. So let me see. Where do I want to go from there? Just to give brief context, you hear about them in and out of the scriptures from the times of rebuilding the temple, from in Isaiah and Ezekiel and Obadiah, so on and so forth. But these are just examples of them popping back and forth. You hear about them for a minute, then they disappear. Because in Second Chronicles, no, not Second Chronicles, that's the wrong chapter. I mean, that's the wrong book I'm looking at. I'm turning through the page. But throughout the Bible, you see them pop in and pop out, pop in and pop out. This is a pattern that goes on throughout the entire book. And each time they pop up, they're causing chaos. They're causing disruption. They're being spiteful. They're being envious. They're watching us die in some kind of way. They're watching us. So even though it all started with Esau, and Esau was the one that wanted to see Jacob suffer, he wanted to see Jacob, he wanted to kill Jacob. That same mentality was passed down from generations to generations to generations. And like Brother Mikael and Brother Stephen have brought up in this lesson, this is also a spiritual aspect in which you can look at it as well, because and what that is right there is your father falls out with his brother, and the rest of the family dislike him just because of the strength of the father, and it carries on from generation to generation to generation. Now, in today's time, that probably wouldn't happen, or eventually the families would not deal with each other at all. But here, that's how you tie in the spiritual aspect of it, because this was an ongoing thing. Esau had no problem dealing with other nations. They fought other nations, but they had no problem unifying with other nations when it came time to see the fall of us. Brother Mikael, you got something you want to bring up?
Yeah, you say they pop up and they go away for a little while, then they pop back up. But see,
Mm-hmm.
when they go away for a little while, their numbers had got diminished. So
Mm-hmm.
now they go out and start mingling around with other nations and get their numbers back up. Then they come back. But see, why they were doing all of this, brothers and sisters, they was taking on other people's names, culture,
Mm-hmm.
heritage. Read Micah 2 and 2, Hebrew.
Micah 2 and 2.
Yes, sir.
All
Real
right.
quick, so we get back to KG.
Micah 2 and 2, and it reads, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
See, that's what they do. Did they oppress our land and took our heritage?
Yup.
This is why it's so hard to spot that rascal, because he absorbed everybody else's culture. Don't they
Mm.
still who started rock and roll? Black people. Who started country? Black people. Who's the
They
face
don't
on
start
country today?
everything.
Yeah, they
Yup.
oppress a man in his house and they take a man and his heritage and call it their own. This is why
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to identify him. And when his numbers get low, he go out and want to mingle with other nations. This is why that white he put his white woman out there on social media today on the date scene. I love you, black man. I love you, black, because they numbers low.
Hey, also Hebrew, they're not reproducing no more. So what are they doing now? That's why they doing what you say. I love you, black
I
man.
love
I
you,
love you
black man.
because
Yeah.
they need us to reproduce, to produce, and then you got their men are with our women because their
Mm-hmm.
women, their wounds can't hold they can't they can't go through the what's what I'm
9 month cycle.
yeah. They got a
Uh,
weak wound.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna tell y'all something else that I'm noticing too. Where it's been going on, but it's more prevalent now. Everywhere I go now, if they're not with one of us, they with a Mexican, they with
Hmm.
a Chinese,
Yep. Yep.
Japanese, Indians. See, they women getting with everybody
Yep.
because their numbers are dwindling. Now I want to say this. Um, Now when we look at this Edomite thing, um, we know that Edomites. Somebody got a lot of background. We know that Edomite equals a descendant of Esau. We know that Idumean or Idumea equals who? The Greeks and the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
We know that the Romans and the Greeks are nothing but Edomites, especially later on in the scriptures when you're dealing with the Second Temple era, uh, like in the New Testament. Now, I want us to understand some key words, right? Like Edom commonly explains what red or is connected to Harry and red stew. Sierra is tied to the hairy rough, and it becomes a land name that's associated with Esau Edom, which is Mount Sierra. Now Idumea, um, let me get Mark chapter 3 and verse 8. Because the Grecians were identified as Idumeans in in
Mm-hmm.
uh in Mark chapter 3 and 8. Hold on for a second.
Mark chapter 3 and verse 8, and it reads.
Okay.
Let me know you ready for it.
Yeah, go read 7 and 8.
All right. But Jesus withdrew himself with his disciples to the sea, and a great multitude from Galilee followed him, and from Judea, and from Jerusalem, and from Idumea, and from beyond Jordan, and they about Tyre and Sidon, a great multitude, when they had heard what great things he did, and came unto them. I mean unto him.
So so we see right there where it says, and from Jerusalem and from Idumea and from Jordan and they about Tyre and Zidon. What do the
Mm-hmm.
scriptures say about Tyre and Zidon? We know that these are Edomites.
Mm-hmm.
And it says a great multitude. So they had got their numbers up, and this was one of them times they had got their numbers up, KG.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it says, and he spake to his disciples that a small ship should wait on him because of the multitude, lest they should throng him. These were these Idumeans and these Greeks and these Romans that was trying to kill the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, for he had healed many, in so much that they pressed upon him for to touch him, as many as had plagues. And unclean spirits, when they saw him, fell down before him and cried, saying, Thou art the Son of God. And he straightly charged them that they should not make him known. But it was too late because they was already telling it, because you see that these Idumeans were trying to kill Christ.
Mm-hmm.
They seeing these miracles that he performing amongst his people. They seeing these Israelites being healed. They said, man, we gonna kill him.
You right, brother Steph. Hey, you right. Hey, you actually, hey, we getting to that point too, and hey, believe it or not, it get deeper than that.
Jew nor Greek, bond nor
It,
free. Go
it
ahead,
get
bro.
deeper than that. I just want to I want to give the Zondervan. I'm reading from the Zondervan dictionary right now, just the definition of Idumea. Pertaining to Edom, Greek and Roman name for Edom. And the scripture reference is Mark 3:8 and Mark 34, verses 5 and 6. Well, now that we done got that part out the way, appreciate that, brother. Yes, sir. There you go. Yes, sir. Now that we done got that part out the way, this is around the time when we celebrate the Feast of Dedication. Well, not the Feast of Dedication, Salakia, Purim and the Nicanor. But this started around the Maccabean period, and I'm bringing this out because this is another part of that section that we just mentioned, where they pop in and they pop out. And what we're gonna see is like this time when they popped in, they made a difference. They weren't just really destroying the temples and stuff like that. They had formulated, one of them had formulated a deeper plot that would play into what Brother Stephen was just talking about just a few seconds ago. But we gonna touch on the part that Brother Mikael just brought out about the Greeks right now. Let's go to First Maccabees chapter 1, and we're gonna read 1 through 10 right now. We're gonna read 1 through 10.
First Maccabees 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First Maccabees 1, starting with verse 1, and it reads, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died. And his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
All right, now jump to 40, 41 through 50, because once again, this is here we are. Brother Stephen told you, Brother Stephen and Brother Mikael told you, when they disappear, they're going back and multiplying the numbers.
Mhm.
So now here we are in Maccabees, and we have the Greeks, and they are taking over everything. And I know in school we probably learned that Alexander, which they never explained him this deep as the scripture do, but Alexander was one of the kings that you heard about in school that took over everything, and how after that it went from this civilization to the Roman civilization, and then from the Roman civilization it went on down to the later you probably end up finding out about Great Britain, Salakia. But in the scriptures it gives you a whole nother viewpoint of it. Now, read 41 through 50, because this is something that Brother Mikael had brought out earlier about some of us. Even in today's time, they were doing it. They just like in today's time, they were doing it back then. They were selling their birthright for the sake of whatever reason they felt was necessary to get what they needed to get.
Verse
Oh, sorry.
41. Let me
All
know
right,
when
yeah.
you're ready.
Bring it out.
All right, verse 41, and it reads, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that
Mm,
they should also leave their children uncircumcised, and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and uh, profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinance. Can I read that one more time?
yeah, bring it out.
To the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. Ain't that what they done, bro?
Yes, sir.
And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
Die. You gotta say
Yes,
die.
sir.
You
Die.
got yeah, you get there you go. You gotta say die.
Die.
Oh, praise. Um, so this was the Greek captivity, and this is some of the things that were going on during the Greek captivity. You was forced to do Greek like customs, and if you did not do these customs, you were put to death. But we also have to understand who is doing this. Another section of Esau, another section of Edom. Brother Mikael, you got something you want to add on to that before I go any further? I know you probably would like to
No,
hit this
yeah,
aspect.
you nailed it. You nailed it. You hit it. I ain't got to say nothing.
All right, I'll praise him. Now let's jump to First Maccabees 40 First Maccabees chapter 3, and I just want you to read 47 through 48. And I'm bringing this out because now in the time of all this that was going on, we would have brothers that would stand up for the cause. Judas Maccabees, John Maccabees, the Maccabees. This is why it's called the Maccabees, because the Maccabean family would be the family to stand up and start causing ruckus and saying, "Nah, we're not gonna take it. You're not gonna make us do this just because we believe in our God and we will not bow down to what you want us to do." So they would begin the revolts, and in the midst of them winning different battles and winning different wars in this time period, they were getting back some of their documents because the Greeks had took a lot of their information and had either stored it for their own sake or they burned it because they didn't want them learning or relearning the generations after them that they had captured. They didn't want them relearning their customs because they knew that if we went back to our original customs, that they would not be able to keep their foot on our neck. So their agenda was to burn documents or keep us from learning the documents. So they took control over those documents. And this is one of the many things that they did. If they didn't burn the documents, they would do what Brother Cortez from the reading 47 and 48.
All right. First Maccabees 3 and 48. Okay,
40 started 47. Well, no, you
47.
can you can do 48. Just do 48.
You sure?
No, do 47. Do 47.
Okay. Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So they said this because they had got some of their literature back, and in the midst of them getting some of their literature back, they seen that the heathen or Esau in this case was trying to paint their likeness over the images that were in their literature, in their historical documents. So they were trying to make it look like it was them the whole time when it actually was our forefathers. And this is something that
I got something
you
to say
see through the
right
course
there.
of time. Come on with it, bring it out.
That goes back to that Michael 2:2 we just read.
Mm-hmm.
They oppress a man and his heritage and take his heritage. That's what they do. They put their images in our Bible, in
Mm-hmm.
our holy scripts. What he doing today? Ain't he whitewashing history today? Taking down all the Smiths, all our black accomplishments in America? Ain't he doing it
Mm-hmm.
today? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Well, apples don't fall far from the tree, and all those apples are ripe. Go ahead, bro.
That's right. That's right. And that's why I wanted to bring that out because, like I said, what when you get into the historical parts of the Bible, and this is something that I recommend for anybody, no matter what level you may be in this walk, I recommend this for everybody when to search out the historical events that partook around the times in which the scriptures are bringing out. And once you see this, you'll begin to correlate these things from that happened in the past that are still happening today because a lot of these things are still happening today. But if you don't know where to look, you'll just think, this is just something that happens. Everything that is happening now has already happened before. It's a revolving door. Nothing is new under the sun. The scriptures tell us that. So the same things that our forefathers were going through, we may be going through it in a different aspect, but we're still going through it spiritually. It may have it may have some different physical attributes to it, but it's still the same thing that our forefathers went through in their time. Um, Now let's go to First Maccabees. Let's go to First Maccabees 5 and 1 through 3. And this is where the class is finna take a turn real quick. It's finna take a turn. We finna kick it into overdrive real quick. Go to First Maccabees
He's
chapter
heating
5.
up.
Yes, sir. I'm finna be in the corner shooting threes. He's on fire. I had,
Free.
I had to build it up, man. I had to build it up. But yeah, First Maccabees chapter 5, verses 1 through 3.
All right. Now, when the nations round about heard that the altar was built and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau in Idumea at the Albertine, because they besieged Gael, and he gave them a great overthrow, and about it their courage, and took their spoils. Also he remembered the injury of the children of Ben, who had been a snare and an offense unto the people, and in that they lay in wait for them in the ways. He shut them up therefore in the towers, and encamped against them, and destroyed them utterly, and burned the towers of that place with fire, and all that was therein.
All right. So the scripture tell us that our forefathers, this is what we would call this. This is called the Maccabean period. When in case anybody want to go look up the history for itself, you would look up the Maccabean period. You would look up the Hasmonean period. These are the times. The Maccabean period is when our forefathers, through the Maccabees, will align those who were willing to fight for what they stood for against the Greeks and anybody else that was aligned with the Greeks, and they would fight against the oppression that they were dealing with at the time. Now,
Hey,
that was the
Salaki, Steph, grab this next one, okay?
All right, I got you. I got you, bro.
Okay, all right.
all right. Now this was during the Maccabean period. We're gonna get there's a time after the Maccabean period called the Hasmonean period. In the Hasmonean period is when the Maccabees has successfully overcame their oppressors, and now they are ruler. They're in rulership of their own section within many other kingdoms that were still fighting amongst each other. They had also, in the midst of this Hasmonean period, they would then become allies with people like the Roman Republic, which leads me to my next question that I'm finna ask. Do anybody know the difference between the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire? Drop your answers in the chat. What is the difference in the Roman Republic and the Roman Empire? Because even though they both go by the name of Rome or have Roman in their name, they are two different entities. One did one thing and the other became another thing. Um, and I'm bringing this out because, like I said, during the Hasmonean period, this is when we see them. We see Esau. He comes into the picture again to fight, except this time he is pretty much overthrown. When he is overthrown in this time period, something very significant happens that hasn't happened any other time. And I'm gonna bring out a couple other books. I'm gonna show them here on the screen in just a second. Let me get this together real quick. See it. Oh, nope, it's not gonna work. I just had to do it like this. I'm gonna show it's three. I'm giving you history of what happened according to the scriptures. Now, the Bible, the Apocrypha, does not say exactly what happened. It just speaks of the time after. But I'm gonna go back in three different references that shows exactly what the Bible is saying. Um, my first reference, I'm gonna show it on the screen. I don't know if y'all can see that. This is my first reference book right here. If anybody has this book, they'll know where I'm coming from. I'm gonna read a section out of this book in just a second, and it says the name of this book is "Who is Esau?" For anybody that may want to get this book, is "Who is Esau?" Make sure I can put that in. Yeah, make sure y'all see that pretty good. And Jedediah, you are on point, brother. All praises to you. You are definitely on point. The next book is the next book is Josephus. Put that up in the screen a little bit right there. The Antiquities of the Jews by Flavius wait, make sure I'm saying it. Flavius Josephus. All praise. But I just wanted to show this right here. This is another book that you can buy. I don't know the exact price of it, but I know that you can get it on Amazon. It's not that expensive. It's a good read, got good stuff in it pertaining to the history of everything that was going on throughout the scriptures. If anybody wants to look into it, here is what it says. And there are other novels written by Flavius Josephus that go along with this as well, if you would like to look into those things. And my last reference, one second, brothers and sisters. My last reference, see that, like I said, it's important that you read. I said it last week. The scriptures. Um, all praise Sister Tannis. I appreciate that. Sister Tannis said you can get that on the internet as a PDF. And this is another book that basically ties in everything together. This book basically has the same information as Who is Esau, Edom, Babylon, the Timbuktu, um, the Antiquities of the Jews. It has plenty. It's basically a book full of references. Um, this was historical events from Assyria to America. It's written by Bishop Nathaniel. It's a good read, actually. It's basically just it has a lot of references. Instead of having to go from book to book to find the different references, you could pretty much get what you needed out of this one book. I got this from Amazon as well. If anybody, if you're interested, I just, for the sake of me passing the knowledge, this is something that I have to do, to tie everything together for me, you know. So if it's a help to you, our praises. Uh, okay, where was we at? And that's right. Shalom, brother Dart. one emperor, one was a council. One, the emperor state would become, and I'm just going to explain it before we get into it. The emperor state would become the Roman Empire. The Roman Republic was in alliance with the Hasmonean dynasty. This is the dynasty of the Maccabees after the wars and battles they had went through to fight for their liberty to be, be free, basically. Um, there were people within the Roman Republic that wanted full power. So the Roman Republic started out as a good thing, but it turned out becoming the Roman Empire from the inside because there was people that wanted to have what Brother Dark was saying. They Slocky, they wanted one ruler. And one of the key people that played a role in that has a lot to do with this because his lineage would later on become a part of the Roman Empire. They would be a separate entity from the Roman Empire, but they would still be in coherence or coercion with the Roman Empire. So basically the Roman Republic was for our forefathers, but then it self-destructed from the inside because it was people that were greedy and wanted power. Now that I have explained that to you, I want to just read. I'm gonna read from a couple of the books that I just showed you. Um, Let me see where I want to start at. I'm gonna grab the biblical events first, and I'm gonna turn to page 90. I'm just gonna read this real quick, brothers and sisters. Bear with me, because this is gonna explain a lot of the things in which we are talking about tonight, and it's going to open up things that you may or may not have knew, and it also is going to show the importance of knowing your history, because even though the scriptures tell us a lot, there are other books that can help connect the dots. So I'm gonna start at page 90 in the historical events from Assyria to America. And this is talking about, this is right before the Roman captivity in 64 BC. In scriptures, Rome was sometimes referred to as Kittim, which we just discussed that. And the reference scriptures for that is Numbers 24 and 24 and Daniel 11, chapter 11, verse 30, because they were the same people. The Roman Empire literally absorbed the Greek Empire. This explains why they are oftentimes referred to as the Greco-Roman Empire. I will begin by discussing the Roman Republic. The people of the Roman Republic were primarily the descendants of Kittim, the son of Javan, the fourth son of Japhet. Read Genesis 10 and 4. They were not Caucasians. The Roman Republic was established by Lucius Junius Brutus in 509 BC. Now I read that to just give context to what Brother Mikael was saying, that Esau would go in different places and intermingle with nations till he had dissolved them and it was nothing but Esau. Let's see, page 97. I'm gonna jump to page 97. Um, Family Feud in it. At this time, there was a man in Jerusalem named Antipater, not a Jew by birth. Both his parents were Idumeans and were forcibly converted to Judaism. Antipater was raised a Jew by religion, not ethnicity. Thus, he would be called Jewish by today's standard. Read one more thing out of here, and this is just how I got it written in my footnotes. But I jumped back to page 86 in this same book, and it says, uh, John Hyrcanus soon conquered Edom, one of the great trade routes between Egypt and Asia. To assure their loyalty, Hyrcanus compelled the Idumean Greeks, word for Edomites, to adopt the laws and customs of the Israelites or be forced out of their homeland. They agreed and became Jewish. The Jewish people of today are their descendants. I just wanted to bring that out because this was something that happened in between the Maccabean period and the Hasmonean period. Now I'm gonna read from, and I want to bag up what I'm saying from three different books. The reason why I'm doing this is because it's no way that three different books have the same thing in it and somebody lying. You do with that as you will. So now I'm reading from Who is Esau Edom? And in page 7, it says, and I'm reading a highlighted segment on page 7. It says, during the time of John Hyrcanus, 135 to 105 BC, the nephew of Judas Maccabees, the Judites were again faced with the hostility of the Idumeans. Hyrcanus confronted the Edomites, causing a decisive change in the relations between the two factions. John Hyrcanus conquered the whole of Edom and undertook the forced conversion of its inhabitants to Judaism. Thenceforth, the Edomites became a section of the Jewish people. So here we are. Here again, we have another reference of Edomites being converted to our customs. Brother KG, why are you bringing this out? I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna bring out my last reference. Um, this whole time before we got to Maccabees, we have mentioned Edomite, Edom, Edom, tribes of Edom, descendants of Esau. But notice when we get into the Maccabean period or the book of Maccabees, you start hearing more about Idumea. Here's why. We said this earlier when we were discussing our question on this particular matter. In the Old Testament, Esau had descendants. These descendants had their own tribes. Each tribe had a duke or the head of that tribe. But as they continue to go into battles, lose battles, disappear, come back, conquer, lose, disappear, it dissolved into one people. When they became one people, they stopped going by tribes, making it harder to identify who was of who from particular which tribe, so to speak. You couldn't, after a while, you couldn't tell if this was Teman. You couldn't tell if this was Amalek. You couldn't tell if this was Kanah, so on and so forth, because they stopped going by their tribe names and all started going by Idumea, because this was the land in which they lived in, which was Mount Seir. This was still Mount Seir. It was just changed to the name of Idumea. This was also another tactic they used to disguise themselves throughout history. Not only would they take other people's heritage, but they would also change the names of their heritage as well. So this is another reason why you have the term Idumea, because it was also called where they lived, which was Mount Seir. Idumean territory is still Mount Seir, but they called it Idumea because instead of going by the clans, they just unified as one people and now considered themselves one people, and they went by the term Idumea. Same way if you went to how we are today, you have Mexicans here, you have African Americans here, and I'm just using this for an example. You have all, whatever your nationality is, we're still all North Americans. See what I'm saying? We may be different here, like he may be from here, I may be from here, but we're still all considered North Americans because we're all in the same area. And that's basically um why the term Idumea comes into place. Now, let me also mention that even though Idumea was the main place that they came from, it would still be other Edomites that would also eventually would eventually be considered Idumea that would come from other places as well. And an example of this is the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire, even though they were Edom, they spoke Latin, whereas Idumeans or Edomites spoke a version of Hebrew. They spoke Edomite and a version of Hebrew. And I hope I'm not losing anybody on that. I'm just giving you, a deeper dive into the history part of it. Brothers, y'all got anything before I read this last reference on John Hyrcanus?
Nah, go ahead, bro.
I'm finna say, hold on. I'm gonna have to go. Let me go back out real quick because I can't hear y'all. Hold on. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
All right, I can hear y'all too. All right. So this is my last reference, and this is coming from the Antiquities of the Jews, and this is just bagging up what I just said about the Maccabees putting the land of Idumea, the Idumeans in that area, into subjugation of Judaism. Hyrcanus, this is page 681, chapter 9, chapter 9 dash 1, Salakia. Hyrcanus took also Dora and Marissa, cities of Idumea, and subdued all the Idumeans, and permitted them to stay in that country if they would circumcise their genitals and make use of the laws of the Jews. And they were so desirous of living in the country of their forefathers, this proves that it was Mount Seir, that they submitted to the use of circumcision and of the rest of the Jewish ways of living, at which time therefore this befell them, that they were hereafter no other than Jews. So this period right here is the beginning of what we call today Jewish. Now, this was good at the time, but this would later on cause another problem. All right, Cortez, let's get, and now I'm finna show why this will become a problem. Let's get
Hey,
first Mac.
Hebrew.
Come on with it.
Before you read that, pull that Acts 13 and 1 just to show them that what you just read is true. Read just Acts 13 and 1 to show you where they took on the term coming Jewish or took on the laws of the Israelites.
All right. Acts 13 and 1, and it reads, Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene, and Manon, which had been brought up with Herod, the how you
The
say that?
tetrarch.
Tetrarch,
Hmm.
the Tetrarch, and Saul.
See, they were brought up. See, we know Herod the Tetra. The Herod was what? He was an Edomite.
Hmm.
Mhm.
He was Jewish ish.
Hmm.
Just to back up what you were saying, they was taught in that book. You got Esau, Edom. They was right. Paul and Herod went to school together.
That's right.
Go ahead, Hebrew.
Well, I'm actually glad that you even brought that up because now I have to use Brother Cortez, get first Maccabees 12 and 16 while I get this. I have to bring up another reference because now we're gonna go back to the Zondervan dictionary and we're gonna read on the definition of Herod. All right, Herod, Idumean rulers of Palestine. Let me read that again. Idumean rulers of Palestine from 47 BC to 79 AD. This line started with Antipater, whom Julius Caesar made procurator of Judea in 47 BC. Herod the Great, first procurator of Galilee, the king of the Jews, 37 BC to 4 BC, built Caesarea temple at Jerusalem, slaughtered children at Bethlehem, Matthew chapter 2, verses 1 through 18. And at his death, his kingdom was divided among his three sons, Archelaus, Herod Antipas, and Philip. Archelaus ruled over Judea, Samaria, and Idumea from 4 BC to 6 AD, and was removed from office by the Romans. And this happened in Matthew chapter 2, verse 22. Herod Antipas ruled over Galilee and Perea from 4 BC to 39 AD. This is who killed John the Baptist. This is, and you can find that in Matthew chapter 14, verses 1 through 12. He was called a fox by Jesus or Yahweh in Luke chapter 13, verses 32. Philip the Tetrarch of Batania, or I can't read out
Oh, whoa,
the
whoa, 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 whoa. Ain't a fox a dog?
Yeah.
Boy, the Messiah didn't mind calling them heathen dogs, man.
Mm-hmm.
He called that Canaanite woman a dog. He called Herod a fox, which is a part of the dog family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who gonna be outside the kingdom where it said over there in Revelation? Dogs. That dog, those Edomites gonna be outside the kingdom. So please stop trying to save these folks. You see the Messiah, there's two witnesses. Messiah called Herod a fox, and he called that Canaanite woman a dog. Go ahead, bro.
And like you said over there in Revelation, it tells you that it's gonna be dogs outside the kingdom. So those are two references to show you what the definition of a dog is.
That's right.
Hence why they love dogs so much. And what they do to Michael Vick by messing with them dogs. They don't they put dogs above our lives?
You better know it.
Oh, okay then. Well, tell them dogs they gonna be outside the kingdom with the dogs.
Dog. Woof woof.
Hey, bring out that and
First
I'm
Maccabees
yeah,
12.
yes, sir, and I'm closing out. I might have
All
to
right.
do a part two to this, but I'm closing out.
First Maccabees 12 and 16. For this cause we chose Nominius the son of Antioch
Mm-hmm.
and Antipater the son of Jason, and sent them unto the Romans to renew the amity that we had with them and the former league.
Mm-hmm. See, Antipater, the key person in that scripture right there in Maccabees 12 and 16 is Antipater. Antipater is the father of Herod. Antipater was given his authority during the Hasmonean period, and this is when we have the our forefathers had basically regained control over the area. They had caused a alliance with the Roman Republic, but like I told you earlier, there were people within the Roman Republic that was trying to destroy it within because they wanted centralized control, and because of that, it would eventually become the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire would overthrow the Roman Republic and the eventually the Maccabees, and that's how they ended up taking over the region. Now, the purpose of me bringing out all of these facts that we are going over tonight is because we, as people that have read the Bible, whether we know what we're reading or we're just reading and we're telling ourselves that the Holy Spirit will lead us in all truth, and that is very true. But when you can't see the things that the Bible is showing you, you have to question who is showing you what you are reading. And I'm saying that to say this: there are people in the Bible that would Antipater was the beginning of the problem that would be a problem in the New Testament. These same people are the Herodians, the Idumeans, Antipater, Herod the Great, Agrippa, so on and so forth. These are the same people that persecuted Yahweh Shai or Yeshua Hamashiach or Jesus Christ, for those that don't know those names. These are the same people that persecuted our Lord and Savior throughout the scriptures in the New Testament. Food for thought. Go ahead, Brother Mikael.
See, right behind your lesson, we know what my next lesson gonna be.
What
We
you
going
got?
right back into them Greeks. The name of that lesson gonna be Thieves of Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
These thieves going back into the New Testament, them Greeks, like we showed y'all in the last lesson, they came up in them synagogues, learning from Paul and the disciples. Then
Mm-hmm.
they turn around when the disciples wasn't on the scene no more. They was put to death. Then they start teaching another doctrine.
Mm-hmm. That's
See,
exactly right.
see, Jew nor Greek though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave
I'll
that right there.
Now, let me put a little bit more salt in the wound. Hold on. Because the term and the term of the people, see, this the thing. A lot of people overlook this. Everybody focuses on the Sadducees and the Pharisees.
Mm-hmm.
But there was another group called the Herodians that were right there by the Sadducees and the Pharisees. And what you got to understand, and this is a full circle moment, because the same way we have people that'll justify their reasons for looking at Esau the way that they do now, there were people in our forefathers' time that did the same thing. The Jews and the sad with the Jews that everybody talk about, well, he didn't he took it away from the Jews and gave it to the whole world, to everybody, all the Gentiles. No, he didn't. He was talking about the Jews that didn't want him to come into power because they knew if Christ came into power, that would be the end of what they had going on with Rome. Because the Pharisees and the Sadducees were given power through the Roman Empire. See, the Roman Empire let you worship whatever you worship up until the point of Constantine. It was a free religious state. You could worship whatever you wanted to worship. That's why you had so much idolatry going on. You had different people worshiping this God and that God and so on and so forth. That's why the Jews that were known Jews, that's why they were in their separate areas. That's why the synagogues were not destroyed in those areas. But see, if you don't know your history, you won't understand. You'll just think everybody was intermingling with everybody. No, everybody had their own section to worship. The only things
Yeah,
that were
see,
unified was the fact that the only things that were unified was that the Roman Empire had multi-language things going on. And you have to understand this because they had conquered a lot of people. So they had to have interpreters from different sections where they went to. The main languages were Latin and Greek because before they got there, the Greeks were there. So a lot of our people knew Greek. But for the sake of communication, far as transactions and taxation, so on and so forth, Latin and Greek were the two main languages. But when it came to religious aspects, Hebrew and Aramaic were the two languages, or just for an example, some of the languages that were still allowed to be used because these are the languages they would talk about in the synagogues. These are the languages that they would use when they read the scriptures or when they had to read something and then present it to another group of people that didn't speak Latin or Greek frequently. They would use Hebrew because that's what some people understood it in. So they would get a transcript they would get a transcript in Latin. They would interpret it though in Hebrew or Aramaic. So with that being said, this also explains the tongues aspect of it as well.
mm-hmm.
When you get into Acts, after Peter did what he did with Cornelius. Um Now the point of me saying what I'm saying right now, brothers and sisters, is that just like we had people today in today's time that want to take up for Esau, it was people in Christ's time that took up for Esau as well. I'm gonna read this last little reference, and then we can close it out. But I just want to speak on the Herodians. The Herodians are a party mentioned in the New Testament three times: in Matthew 22 verse 16, and in Mark 12 and 13, and in Mark 3 and 6 is joining with the Pharisees to oppose Jesus. Jews who supported, listen to this, Jews who supported the dynasty of Herod, meaning that they were okay with what Herod was doing because it benefited them. Who does that sound like? The Pharisees and the Sadducees. Because why? They all answered to Rome. But let me read. As joining with the Pharisees to oppose Jesus, Jews who supported the dynasty of Herod and therefore the rule of Rome. Matthew 22 and 16. So this goes to show that not only did we have people amongst us other than Herod, there was a gang of Herodians pushing the agenda with him because they believed they wanted to keep the power going. And another thing that I want to bring out as I close, and I'm gonna close with this. Once again, a key point in this lesson is the fact that Edom, Esau, Idumea, they would pop in and pop out, pop in and pop out. This was around the time that they popped in and they stayed there for a long time. But then when we got closer to 70 AD and the temple was destroyed, let me read this. And this is in Edom, page 9, and it reads: During Titus's siege of Jerusalem, 66 to 70 AD, 20,000 Idumeans appeared before Jerusalem to fight in behalf of the zealots who were besieged in the temple. About 97,000 inhabitants of Judea were taken captive, and an unknown number had fled either before or during the siege. This is the last mention of the Edomites as a people in history. Let me read that again. This is the last mention of the Edomites as a people in history. Yet Bible prophecy indicates that Edom would be an enemy of Israel in latter times. We find that their only connection to a present day people in religion is with the Jews and Judaism. And with that, brothers, unless brothers, y'all got anything before I close?
Yeah, see them thieves of salvation. They sit there. They took those scriptures. You know, Marcion twisted the scripture. What he said about the God of the Old Testament. He was harsh. He was mean, right? They didn't deal with the Old Testament. Why they didn't deal with the Old Testament? What you just said. Because of the future latter judgments that's going to fall on Edom at the return of Christ. This is why these rascals, I call them thieves of
But
salvation, because they got our people selling their birthright, and our people don't even know it. I yield right there. Did I go out?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm done, Hebrew. I finished what I was saying.
Oh, okay. I don't know. KG went back out. He probably finna come back in.
Oh, Sister
Check
Tanner
us
said
on,
they
not
didn't
him.
hear. Oh, yeah, we'll get on out of here. Let KG come back and close it out.
Somebody do the shout out. Yeah, I can hear you fine.
All right. We got Sister Brenda Hill. Shalom, sis. We got MC to the X Project. We got Sister Tanis. Mikael, check out Judah Tribe Ministries on YouTube. Okay, Auntie, I'm going to get right on that. We got Sister Arlene Foster. Shalom, Emo. We got Brother Dark T in the building. We got Yedadiah in the building. Who else we got up in here? We got Sister Sabrina in the building. Shalom, sis. Hold on, y'all. I'm scrolling. Okay, I called
Don't
y'all.
forget, did you get Yedadiah?
Yeah, I got Yedadiah. Sister Jim. I see you, Sister Jim. Shalom, sis. Uh,
Mother Mary.
Mother Mary. Shalom, Mother Mary. How you doing? How you
Uncle
doing?
Rob was in, Uncle Rob was in the chat too.
Uncle Rob. Big Rob. We got William. I'm sorry, William. I mean, Willie Gardner in the building. Shalom, cuz. Uh, we got Sister Asia in the building. Shalom, sis. All things most high. Brother Warriors was in the building, Hebrew. Shalom, Warriors. All right.
I was
That's all I
thinking
see, cuz.
whenever you were saying that about doing a lesson on the Greeks. So since you gonna do that, I might just fill in that gap. I might change my lesson to fit in with these two lessons. and just attack the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
Take the Roman part of it, and you do the
Uh-huh.
Greek. You do the Grecians. Since KG hit Idumea and Edom, I get the Romans, and then you tackle the Greeks on your list.
Well, I tackled them Friday, Hebrew.
Who, the Romans?
No, the Greeks.
Oh, I thought you
Uh,
said that was gonna be your next lesson.
no, thieves of salvation. I'm going into their church fathers. I call them
Oh,
thieves
okay,
of salvation. Yeah,
okay,
same
okay.
same people. Greeks. They the Greeks. It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna hit a Roman. I'm gonna do a lesson on the Romans.
Okay. Hey, all praise it. We were gonna do that Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Okay.
Can
All
y'all hear
right.
me?
Now
Yeah,
we
yeah, we
can.
can hear you, bro.
Okay, okay. All right. I appreciate y'all feeling me. I don't know what happened. I think I lost signal or something, but I hope everybody was able to glean something from the lesson. I didn't get to bring out all the information I had, but I feel like I got enough of it out. Like I said, I to get full context of everything, go back to last week's classes and connect them with this lesson and the lessons that we have coming this week. And brothers, I appreciate y'all for being up here with me as well, throwing y'all input in. I hope everybody was able to glean something from it or was edified from it. All praises to the Most High.
All praise. All right. Well, if that's all y'all got, we're gonna get on up out of here.
And
Hey,
this is
family,
another
just
exciting episode of
back
Back to
to
the
the
Basics
basics
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Hey, I had to go ahead and throw it in there because you got me last week. I ain't even get to say it last week. I had to go ahead and throw it out there
Yeah,
real
he
quick.
cut you. He cut you smooth last week. I mean, man, he cut him smooth, boy.
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to, Hebrew.
No,
All
it's
right.
all good, bro.
Shalom, shalom, family. We out. Peace.
Here, O Israel, the call never died. From the south, the lost sheep rise. From Mississippi soil where the history haven't changed in the land, but the promise still steady. Names got taken, truth got buried, but the word still breathing, never went missing. Lost sheep scattered, still hear the tone. Shepherd calling, saying bring them home. Not a rumor, not a myth. Ancient bloodline covered in stitch, no crown on head, no throne in sight. But kings still walk when they live upright. Priests in order, hearts in check. Walking the path of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost she found, heart reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
From Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that.
Remember
that.
Not here for hate, not here for noise. Here to rebuild men, women, boys. From prison walls to broken homes. Still hear Yah's voice through flesh and bone. Teach the law, apply the way. Faith works, lived every day. Not traditions handed down, but ancient paths we walking now. 12 tribes breathing, still intact. Truth don't change, that's fact. Scattered